at the Marty McDonough Gymnasium on the campus of Mount St. Joseph Academy for the meeting of number 1 ranked MSJ, and we don't know exactly what their points add up to right now, but I believe Proctor is still 3, perhaps 2. Now currently the 3rd ranked team in the state, coming in with 3 losses. Currently MSJ is undefeated, and can kind of throw the records out with these 2 teams over the last few years. I'm here with Wade Mitchell as usual. And Wade, what do you think? What do you think the keys to the game are?
Well, before I get to that, I want to make a comment on what you had mentioned. It's the Marty McDonough Gym, but the Lenny Burt Court.
That's true. And they just renamed that,
right?
Just
renamed it, right? Keys tonight. The MSJ is coming in with a ton of speed. We got Monica. How do you pronounce it?
Schmelzenbach, yeah.
Schmelzenbach, who's probably going to be guarding Abby. Eden is lightning quick. I think Abby and Monica are going to neutralize each other. It depends on what we've been saying all year. We got to get production out of 4 other girls. Proctor does. Obviously, MSJ is a good ball club, and as you remember, the last time these 2 clubs met each other was the championship game at Berry Auditorium a year ago. So they know each other. I've seen MSJ at Proctor games all year and vice versa. So I'm looking for a heck of a game. I think the tempo is going to dictate everything in the end.
One of the big changes, of course, from last year in the state championship game is that MSJ no longer has 6'3" Sally Hogan in the middle, and Proctor's coming off a huge win over number 2 West Rutland at
Big
West
win.
Rutland,
Big win.
and they controlled that game really, closing it out. Proctor was able to control the boards against a bigger team, and in this matchup, the one thing that Proctor does have is size on the inside, and the real question is it going to be size or is it going to be speed that wins this game? Usually you'd side with speed when it comes right down to it.
Yep.
As an MBL member school, let me remind you of the code of conduct. Spectators, while an important part of the game, are expected to conform to accepted standards of good sportsmanship and behavior. Cheering for one's own team is encouraged. Now for the starting lineup. First, the visiting Phantoms. Starting at guard, number 13, senior, Abby McKieran. Also at guard, number 10, junior, Sierra Thornton. Starting at forward, number 20, senior, Olivia Valerio. Also at forward, number 23, junior, Alexis Bride. And the third forward in the lineup, number 24, junior, Emma Riker. Proctor is coached by Chris Hughes. Now for the Mounties. Number 3, junior, Jenny Eaton. Also at guard, number 5, junior, Gabby Giacomo. The third guard in the lineup, number 15, senior, Monica Schmalzenbach. Riding it forward, number 11, junior, Izzy Harvey. And at the other forward, number 13, junior, Shannon Elm. Understand coached by Dan Elliott. eyes and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Lineup, and for MSJ we have Jenna Eaton, Gabby Giancola, Izzy Harvey, Shannon Elms, and Monica Schmelzenbach. Of course, the Mounties are driven primarily by Schmelzenbach and Eaton, and Elms is their horse off the boards, but I'm actually struck at how small the Mounties look out on the floor.
They're not very big.
That starting lineup, but I know that they run. So let's see what happens. Tap goes to MSJ, moving from right to left in the home whites. Proctor on defense in their visiting maroon. Shot off the mark. Rebound by Giancola. That was a shot by Giancola. Rebound by McCarron.
I'm surprised Eaton's guiding Abby, and Abby was guiding, or Eaton was guiding Abby.
Ball dumped inside, and Lexi Bride turns to the hoop and gets fouled. Going to the line for two. I think Proctor would be very happy to play a half-court game and move the ball inside out and take their chances getting to the line and the like.
Proctor normally is a very good foul shooting team.
Lexi off the mark with the first one, but gets another try. And off the mark with the second one, but Emma Reichert's in for the rebound. And that size paying dividends that time. Proctor takes a 2-0 lead.
That's a big bucket for Emma. She needs that.
Yeah, sometimes she can take herself out of the game some.
Abby's guarding Eaton.
That's a matchup you always got to look at with Lexi out on the outside.
Yep.
Not typically fleet of foot, but in this case, I think that she's guarding somebody who's not going to be that aggressive offensively.
I'm very surprised that Thornton's guarding Schoenbeck.
It's the first foul on Bride coming up.
See, she's killed her dribble.
Lexi Bride picks up her second one very quickly. That's Unfortunately, not that unusual for her to get in early foul trouble. Shot off the mark. Olivia Valerio's not able to corral the rebound. I guess she was.
Lexi's coming out.
Meredith Parker going in. Meredith not much of a threat offensively, but does a pretty good job on the boards for her size. Boy, they had Olivia. They had Olivia on the block that time, wide open, and unfortunately ended up in a turnover.
The ball went off the right foot.
Rebound to Sierra Thornton. Up to McKieran. High pick and roll with ball swung over to Thornton. Back up top to McKieran. Bad pass that time to Thornton. Turns the ball over, and here comes MSJ. And they score, tying the game at 2.
Can't turn the ball over against them.
Ball security is going to be important.
Ooh.
Nice swing of the ball that time, and Emma Reichert goes for 2. Nice assist by Sierra Thornton.
Going back to what I said earlier, Emma made the first one, and
Olivia corrals that rebound off a couple of hands and brings it up herself. Proctor seems particularly deliberate in the way they're approaching their offense. High screen by Meredith Parker. But she needs to get out of there once she does screen. Got to pick and roll or pick and pop. Can't pick and stand there.
Nope.
Anyway, Emma out of position. Ball over to Parker, into Abby McKieran, who goes left, takes the ball all the way to the hoop for 2.
Can't give her that one.
Isabel Valerio getting ready to check in the game for the Phantoms. Proctor playing. It's almost like they're playing some kind of zone.
Well,
it's not really a they played a triangle and 2 for a while against West Rutland that seemed to confuse them. Good job by Schmelzenbach that time on the air ball. He was able to power it up and in. Turnover by Abby that time, dribbling it off her leg. They know that these teams know each other so well. They know, if Abby has a weakness, it's usually going to her left, and so far she's been forced left. One time she scored, one time she turned it over. Proctor maintains a 6-4 lead with 3:41 left in the first quarter. Rebound.
This will be interesting.
Abby McKieran and
load it up.
In off the glass. In for MSJ, number 25, Emily Rapino. Proctor really not Proctor was really not respecting the outside shot of MSJ on that occasion, and Emma Reichert not able to get back with the ball over the top. Puts Rapino at the line for 2.
Rapino was not being guarded underneath that time, and Proctor's got a scouting report. They're going right by it. They know the shooters.
Rapinoe off the mark with both shots and jump ball or tie up that time. Possession goes over to Proctor.
8-4 Proctor with 3 minutes to go.
Proctor not really showing many nerves here. I mean, they do not seem in any way intimidated by the number 1 MSJ Mounties. Ball was off MSJ that time.
MSJ.
Proctor trying to play a little inside out, creating a triangle. There goes Emma Reichert. Tough pass out to the wing. She did have Olivia out there open, but Proctor maintains possession. Now Isabel Valerio looking for her shot, as she always does. Abby McKieran out for 3. Rebound that time by Schmelzenbach, and here they come. Abby gets back on defense. Ball goes off of an MSJ foot. And they move the ball well.
Somebody's got to get back on that. You've got to drop back under.
Reichert goes to the middle with the left hand and draws the foul on Rapinoe, putting herself at the line for 2.
It's all right to play a guard 4 men, but you better know where that 5th one is, and you can't leave her all alone underneath her. She's going to make that layup eventually.
Proctor off the mark with that, or Emma off the mark with that free throw. Checking in for MSJ is Olivia Corbett. MSJ comes right down and drains the shot.
MSJ wants to run.
They got to pick up that person with the ball much sooner, preferably closer to half court, so they don't get a running start at the hoop.
Eaton.
Foul on number 3, Jenna Eaton. Game knotted up at 8 with 1:35 left in the first.
Stepped out of bounds.
Those are the kind of things that, in a game like this, they add up. It's not one of them that causes the game to go one way or the other, but it's death by 1,000 paper cuts, and at the end, they definitely do add up. Interestingly enough, they have Isabel on Schmelzenbach. Rebound by Reichert, ball up to Olivia Valerio. Trying to penetrate, getting cut off on the baseline. Ball outside to Abby McKieran, who she'll figure out a way to penetrate. And almost spins it in. Somehow comes away with the rebound. Seems like they're definitely looking for Olivia on the inside. Nice passing. Shot off the mark. Olivia gets the rebound, tips it into Thornton.
Got to stop her at the... No. Could have been a foul. Travel.
Walk that time on MSJ.
MSJ definitely wants to run.
So far, Proctor's been able to stop that, and
the deliberate offense is working this early.
Low-scoring game is probably going to work to Proctor's favor.
Yep.
Emma missed Olivia on the pick and roll there. Emma's playing out in a position where she's not generally used to on the outside, but I think they're doing that to try to get Olivia free on the inside, which is where we frankly thought that she might want to be for quite some time. Foul that time on Abby McCarron.
That was a good foul.
Yeah, gives them a short amount of time to get a shot off. 2.2 is plenty in the half court. Rapinoe from the outside hits the three. I'm not sure if I've seen her hit one of those all year, but she drained it this time, and that actually they call it a two. And that puts MSJ up by 2 points at the end of the first quarter.
And believe it or not, it was a bank shot.
Now it's a triangle too. Get that board quick down. Skip, what we can do is just sit in a triangle. So we want to attack that triangle like we did. That high low. Just sit back and
So far, after one quarter, one of the things that's unfortunate, Proctor has not hit any of its 4 free throws, and you have 4 points with Abby McCarron and 4 points with Emma Reichert. Ball movement in the half court has been pretty good. There have been 3 turnovers in the half court, and Proctor's been doing a pretty good job on the boards, which is something I think we would expect.
Yeah, they jinxed them, I guess, on the free throws. 0 for 4. But then again, the good free throw shooters haven't gone to the line.
Proctor returns to the floor with Olivia Valerio, Isabel Valerio, Sierra Thornton, Emma Reichert, and Abby McCarron. Same team that left in the first quarter, and it looks like MSJ has also returned. Proctor on 1-3-1 zone now. The MSJ came in looking for that triangle and 2 that time and didn't get it.
Got to stop her.
That's the speed and evidence right there.
Obviously.
By Schmelzenbach. Here comes McCarron right back. Someone's got to get in the post. Sierra trying to go baseline. Steps on the baseline, turning the ball over to MSJ.
That's the one. That's the one. If you're in the box. Go back to Monica. Go back to Monica.
MSJ now out top. Screen and roll. No help on the backside.
No help at all.
MSJ pulls out to a 6-point lead. Olivia Valerio on the outside looking for Reichert. There goes Olivia with left hand. Usually a good shot for her, off the mark. Here comes MSJ back. So far they've been able to, MSJ has been able to take the ball out of Abby McCarron's hands there. There have been no fireworks yet from her, although she does have 4 points. Rapinoe on the outside. I think that 3-pointer might have, good steal that time by Sierra Thornton. Abby McCarron to the hoop. And MSJ turns the ball over. You know, when you're a running team, you can expect to turn the ball over some, but you're looking for volume when it comes to shots and the like.
They're going to run every time they get the ball. That's their game.
And they don't look particularly dangerous in the half court.
No. Well, they got a couple kids that they can get the ball to. They're going to score for them, and that's it.
Abby with not a good pass that time, lobbing it right into the middle of the defense.
We can't give MSJ 2 shots either.
MSJ maintaining a 6-point lead with 5:33 left in the second quarter.
Ooh, wide open.
And Chris Hughes calls a timeout. MSJ opening up an 8-point lead. Biggest problem, frankly, is not so much that MSJ is running away scoring. It's that Proctor is having difficulty putting the ball in the hoop.
Yeah.
I think that Proctor would. You're looking at 16 points with 5:29 left in the second. I think Proctor before the game would look at that and say, "That's all right."
We haven't had a legitimate shot here in the last 2 to 3 minutes. Forcing the ball.
Well, it seems that I'm actually a little surprised at how sparse the crowd is here.
I am too.
This is probably one of the most anticipated games of the season for both teams.
The biggest game in the area, that's for sure.
I do know that the 7th and 8th grade boys and girls teams at Proctor had a game out in Castleton that was just got over, and but I do see my wife in the stands, so that's where she came from. I know she got here late.
Come in.
Yeah. Anyway, Proctor attempting to get something going in the half court. There's a lot of dribbling and not enough passing in the half court. You got to make a team like MSJ move their feet, and if you swing it enough, you'll be able to dump the ball inside and get some better shots.
Yep, I agree.
McCarran, however, does get to the line with her dribble drive and does hit the first. And the second.
Makes both of them. That kind of breaks the drought here a little bit.
There you go. 4-0.
6-point lead for MSJ. They have the ball.
Go, swing it. Screen, down.
Good patience on the part of MSJ. Call on the floor.
It's a good call.
Not a lot of fouls in this game. That's on Lexi Bride. That's her third. I think she's literally played about a minute and a half of this first half.
Make sure you get new. You guys.
Good block by Isabel.
Beautiful block.
And wow, I thought that. Didn't she catch it out of bounds? Can't tell.
Not.
Well, he was right there, and I'm way over here, so I don't know what I'm saying. Abby McCarran with the good hands inside. Nice pass on the inside from Olivia to Emma Reichert.
Let's go, Jimmy, run clear. There you go. Jimmy's going to miss that. Run clear.
MSJ's offense is geared towards two girls. Eaton and Schillenbeck. And if any one of the other three happen to be free, they get the ball.
Isabel held the Callahan girl in West Rutland scoreless during the time she came in and was covering her, and she's done a really good job in this second stint on the floor. With a block and a turnover. Olivia looking for a shot. Just doesn't seem to be confident in her offense.
You've got to take that shot when she has it.
Ball has to swing. Nice job. Good job inside to Emma Reichert.
We got a foolish foul here.
Smelzebach comes out. Eaton with the outside shot. Elms tries to push off Olivia, not able to get the shot off. Wild shot off the glass. Those are hard to rebound because you don't know where the heck they're going. and neither did the shooter at that point. Nevertheless, Proctor matches up again.
You got Abby on Schoenbeck now. Thought I would see that earlier.
I think they're trying to use a few different people on her, see if they can wear her down a little bit, and also make sure that they don't wear themselves down. Isabel is good in spurts, but doesn't necessarily have the stamina. That's a nice pass. Isabel in there with ties the ball up on the rebounding action. Ball goes over to Proctor. That's a shot. That's a shot Olivia should be taking. Isabel will take hers, that's for sure.
Oh, in and out.
In and out. Ball stays off of Schmelzenbach, and Proctor will be taking the ball in. After the little spurt by MSJ, Proctor sort of righted itself. Hit a couple of free throws and a hoop, and bunch of chaos at the center court, and I believe Abby McCarron ended up with a foul out of it. That's her second, but she knows how to play with fouls, and I'm not too worried about that.
Backcourt on that.
I think what Isabel didn't realize is that because that ball was fumbled, she still had her dribble, and she didn't know it. So rather than take a chance and turn it over, she was looking to pass it, but ended up in a turnover anyway. The Rapino girl is a pretty big girl, and has been setting some prodigious picks on the baseline. Rebound to Sierra Thornton, outlet to Isabel. Here comes Proctor. Over to McCarron, off the mark. Schmelzenbach walked on that. Definitely took 3 steps. Absolutely. And ball comes over. That was actually an excellent call, and I don't even know what the hesitation was. Maybe one of the refs was screened on the play.
He did check with the other ref. I like that. He had to travel out front.
Meredith Parker in for the last 135 of the half. Another turnover by Thornton. She's had those turnover blues the last couple of games. She works and plays so hard, you got to have her out on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Schmelzenbach from deep, off the mark. McCarron this time with the rebound. Boy, I don't know what the reluctance is to move the ball with the pass. They just don't give it up. I don't get it sometimes.
Nope.
Eaton on the outside. Ball tipped over to McCarron. Abby's done a good job off the board. She has 5 rebounds so far in the first half. That is a shot that all through AAU and last year, Olivia was shooting that shot, and she doesn't want to seem to have anything to do with it at this point.
Hey, again, trying to force it inside.
Olivia with the rebound. 10 seconds left in the half. Abby steps into a 3. Tip in by Thornton on the rebounding action, and that creates a 16-14 game at the half.
It's a strange first half.
Yeah.
I would have bet there'd have been a lot more points, but a lot of turnovers, almost like they're feeling each other out.
Well, there's got to be some nerves. I mean, Proctor comes in with a year after year after year tradition of going to the odd and being in the state. They were in 4 consecutive state championship games. This is kind of early in the in the process for MSJ coming off their first championship, and it's very hard. People don't realize how hard it is to repeat a championship. Doing 1 or 2 in a row is, if you do 2 in a row, that's tough. Doing 3 in a row and appearing in 4, that's something. So that kind of experience can only be weighing on Proctor's side. For the first half, I'll go down the point. I don't have the points for MSJ, but I can tell you what the Proctor girls have done. Abby McKieran had 4 points. Emma Reichert had 6 points. Sierra Thornton had 2 points, and that is it for a total of 14, trailing the Mounties 16-14 at the half. Well, we'll be back in a few minutes.
Show me I'll believe you.
Okay, well, we're back getting ready for the second half. As we indicated at the end of the first half, the score has not changed. It is 16-14. The good thing about halftime is there were no Proctor turnovers.
3 minutes here in the third quarter. We'll see what the score is. Critical. Proctor's got to get on a streak here.
Changing the starting lineup. Isabel Valerio is starting for the second half,
I think that's a
replacing Lexi Bride, who picked up 3 fouls in very short order in the first half, and we haven't seen much of her since. Schmelzenbach on the outside did a little skip step and looked like she traveled, but
3 seconds.
Nice pass on the inside. Jump ball, Isabel getting her nose in there again. Ball goes over to Proctor, and here comes Abby. Always confounds me how these girls run up the court screwing around with their headbands. Livia on the inside, nice shot, didn't quite finish. Here comes Schmelzenbach, and feet get tangled up.
Might have got away with a travel on that also.
Nice block by Olivia from behind. Ball comes over to Abby. Definitely they're working on her right hand. Ball inside to Reichert. Battling hard. Ball over to Isabel. Tries to get the baseline. Nice pocket pass inside. Reichert off the mark, and Isabel's in there again. Battling on the boards.
Emma's got to look at the basket before she shoots it.
It's just almost like she knows there's a shot, and she just gets it up there in whatever form it takes. And
the ironic part is I've seen her make that shot. How, I don't know.
That is true. Proctor guards are causing some definite problems for MSJ on the outside.
No question about that. Number 5 is a
rebound by Olivia on the inside, and out she comes with it. Kick back to Isabel, off the mark. Steal by Abby McKieran, or a combination of Abby and Sierra. Nice pass over to Olivia, who finishes for 2. Good pass by Abby McKieran that time.
perfect.
That ties the score with 5:43 left in the third. Shot off the mark by Gabby Giancola. And I think that you're right. There are some people, Proctor's just going to let him shoot the ball and see what happens.
I'll take that.
If Gabby Giancola or Izzy Harvey end up beating Proctor from the outside, then so be it. But they are not going to let Jenna Eaton or Monica Schmelzenbach beat him in the same way.
I'd kind of forgotten what MSJ had. Maybe I overestimated some of the players. Now, they had somebody who's not here a year ago. I coached her sister at MSJ or at St. Joe. Oh boy, she's not in the lineup. I checked earlier. She played a lot for him.
Well, while you're stewing on that, we'll get back to the action. They're screen low. Isabel and Olivia working on it. Isabel on the outside with that three-pointer. Nice pass inside out from Olivia. Can't tell you how many times in the driveway they've done that.
Yep. I can well imagine.
Schmelzenbach from the outside tries to match the three. Abby McKieran comes down with a rebound, and Proctor's on the run.
I've seen Emma work all year.
Yep, Emma is in the game. And you know what started it? She hit a couple of shots.
Yeah.
Emma hits a couple of shots, and now you got to play it.
Yep.
If Emma gets out of it early, you got a problem. But she's doing a great job today, having scored a couple of points. You know,
it's not a legal play. You can't do that.
Schmelzenbach with the offensive rebound.
You can't reach across that line on that pass.
McKieran all the way to the rim and does not finish that time. Nice switch that time by Sierra. Sierra's not nearly as big as Rapinoe, but she's probably just as strong. Nice defense by Emma that time. There's Isabel. And Olivia comes away with the ball. Nice pass over to McKieran. No pressure on the outside. At some point, they're going to leave Olivia long enough.
Maybe.
Olivia looking for that foul line extended opposite wing. Nice entry pass. There she is again with it. And now, there you go. Sierra Thornton going to the hoop and picks up the foul. Gets to the line. There's some good ball movement in that possession.
There was.
Inside out, cross to the foul line extended, swung it, and that gave Sierra the ability to dribble drive and pick up the foul.
Phantom's up by 2.
Isabel out taking a rest, and Lexi Bride is checked back in. And Sierra hits the second.
Stay on there.
Olivia switches on to Schmelzenbach. Rapinoe on the outside. Dribbles one in. I don't think that ball went over the rim until it bounced up off of it. They need to create some more spacing and get on the... there you go. Someone out at the point. Nice move by Olivia. Didn't finish it. Good rebound in there by Lexi Bride. Gee, boy, that's a foul line jump shot.
Yep.
McKieran from outside. Ball goes off of White, I believe, and stays with the Phantoms. You know, they turn the ball over more on inbounds plays than any team I've ever seen. And I almost wonder what it is that's causing that.
They telegraph the pass is one thing.
I don't think they're getting good explosion off the picks. They're kind of going through the motions on it instead of actually using them. And we saw it a couple of times. There were 3 turnovers in a row in West Rutland on inbounds plays. That's not a bad foul by...
Other than 4.
That was Sierra Thornton's.
Thornton?
And that's only her first foul.
Oh,
so
I thought it was Lexi.
I think that was by instinct. Thought it was Lexi, but Schmelzenbach now gets to the line and misses the first. Well, MSJ knows they're in a game, that's for sure.
Sure do.
And off the mark on the second one. Emma with the rebound, outlet to Thornton. McKieran on the outside, attempts to get to the rim. Off the mark. And this time she takes the 3 on the other side and drains it.
You knew that had to happen sooner or later.
Well, you know, she caught that. Part of it is being able to get the ball in rhythm.
Yep.
And when that shot came out of her hand, it was very fluid.
Watch this call. Neither one know. I was waiting for the MSJ crowd to go wild.
Nice help side from Lexi Bride that time.
Yes,
sir. Got over quick enough. Got to hit that shot. Wide open. Boy, she just does not have confidence shooting it. I don't know what... but in any event, ball goes off of Proctor over to MSJ.
One thing I'm noticing, whether she doesn't look for the shot when she gets the ball.
She doesn't know where.
That becomes secondary, and I feel, now I may be wrong, but I don't think so. She's got to get the ball and look for the shot right away. There's the case again. Leaving her alone, she's killing them.
You know, I don't care who you are. You can't leave them alone 2 feet from the hoop. Olivia with the rebound inside, but unable to finish. Little up fake, and she probably would have drawn the foul. Nevertheless, Proctor maintains a 24-22 lead with 56 seconds left in the third quarter. And
I wonder when the last time the Mariners were trailing going into the final quarter.
Heck, I wonder when the last time they had 22 points after 3. My guess is they usually have 22 points after the first quarter.
Yep.
Plenty of big scoring games. Proctor's doing a good job on the boards, as we would expect.
Doing an excellent job.
The funky defense that they're playing a little bit is leaving some people over. Well, here comes back on the floor the 2 teams, and
Proctor ball out of bounds. See what we're going to get done
run
here.
Abby off a double screen. Blocked that time.
Got to stop her there.
Yeah, good job. Angled her off. Good job by Sierra Thornton. Emma's got to keep an eye on Rapino. I don't think you have to worry. No, offensive foul?
13.
Foul that time on Logan Fuller.
I didn't see it, but he called it without hesitation.
Not a big dispute from the MSJ bench.
No.
And we'll see if Proctor goes for one. Looking for that nice. Abby goes out, shoots the three, and drains it. That puts Proctor up by 5 with 21 seconds left. Let's see if Proctor can make a stand or get a turnover and not pick up a foul by anybody who's key to what's going on. Good closeout by Olivia at the foul line. Schmelzenbach fades to the corner. Off the mark. Rapinoe on the inside. And the hoop is good.
That was a big hoop.
That brings MSJ to back within 3 points. 27-24 heading into the third quarter.
Tighten your seatbelt, gentlemen. This is going to be a dandy.
Proctor has seemed to be able to take the steam out of most of what MSJ wants to do, but somebody's got to keep Rapinoe off the boards. I don't think that I don't know what her in general her scoring average is for the year, but I believe she's got to have 8 or 10 points in this game so far.
She's the difference right now in this and being a blowout.
Now I will say this: when it comes to undefeated teams, Proctor came close a few years ago with their one loss up at Rivendell in overtime. The first year they won the state championship a few years ago. But I almost think it's better for a team to suffer a loss or two during the year.
If you're going to lose, yeah.
Well, clearly you don't want to do it in the playoffs, but it makes you hungrier. It also puts you in a position where you don't want to have that happen again.
Yep. I never had an undefeated team. We had one loss in the year we won it.
That was Eaton all the way to the hoop. Abby trying to return the favor. Not able to get there. Ball into Olivia. Tied up by 3 people. See, those are the situations, unfortunately, where Abby sometimes seems to give up the ball only when she's stopped as opposed to when the pass is open. And if you create some spacing, you might get yourself in a better situation. Abby for 3, and she's starting to get hot again.
She is on fire.
And I'll tell you what, if she gets hot like she did in West Rutland, MSJ may as well pack it in because it changed the entire game. Foul this time on Eaton. Oh no,
Abby.
Geez, they called the foul on McCarran. That's her third. That didn't look like it to me. It looked like the ball was tipped away, and when they went for the ball, Eaton pushed off. But the ref saw it the other way, and I'm not the one making the call. So Proctor back in the half-court defense. Pick and roll, and Rapinoe doesn't want to turn on Olivia.
Eaton
tries to get to the hole. Thornton with a hand on the ball. Olivia closing out at the foul line.
She's not going in with the ball.
Proctor playing some good half-court defense. That's a big pick coming up on Abby. Olivia watching Elms out top. Doesn't have to get too close. She's not really known for shooting the jump shot. Rapinoe on the outside. McCarran with the rebound. Back comes Proctor. That's where oh boy. Sometimes you miss these flat passes that are just wide open. Olivia from the foul line off the mark.
Red ball. He didn't know.
I don't know what the confusion was. That was pretty obvious. Ball over to MSJ. Some of the MSJ players expressing some frustration.
You make me feel bad. I had Proctor ball.
Oh, you thought it rolled off her. Good closeout by Emma that time.
We'll let her shoot. This is the one here you don't want to shoot. Nice closure.
Got a little bump as she was able to get the half step on Sierra Thornton. Geez, they called the foul on Olivia, and I didn't even think she was in the play. Not that it matters, it's only her first foul. And MSJ having one of those nights from the foul line.
She missed what, 3?
That's 3 in a row, yeah. And that's 4 in a row. Ball tied up by MSJ next, and stays with MSJ on the change of possession. Next one will go over to Proctor. Rapino out on the outside. Nice block by Olivia.
Who was that on? Liz?
That was on Liv. That the second one. I guess the first block was good, and the must have got her the second time. Puts Logan Fuller to the line.
Nice form there.
I don't think that they've got the numbers right on this thing, because that's Shannon Elms, and they have her listed in the program by a different number. Olivia gets that rebound. Chris Hughes takes a timeout with 5:41 left in the fourth quarter.
30-27 Phantoms.
Yeah, you know,
who would have guessed?
Well, I'll tell you, I would have guessed. Because I saw that game over in West Rutland the other day, and I said, you know, if this team plays the way they're capable of, they are capable of beating any team in Division 4.
Yep.
They've demonstrated on a number of occasions. They beat a Division 1 team on the road this year. They beat Division 2 Fairhaven, which is a good team.
No
they
doubt.
beat Division 2 Otter Valley away, which was a good team. Of course, they did lose second matchups with both of those teams, but Proctor plays a tough schedule on purpose early in the year just to set up these kind of scenarios.
I do think they are peaking. There's definitely signs that we haven't seen all year.
Clearly there are people who are, everybody's starting to assume a role, which is important. And early in the season, with a couple of graduates last year, you had people who had to assume new roles and positions on the team.
Yep.
Ball into McKieran. Proctor going into the flex. Olivia gets the ball inside and turns for the hook shot. Gets fouled, putting her on the line.
I'd love to see her work more on that right-handed hook. She's so natural with it.
Olivia drops in the first. And the second. And,
5-point lead again.
I did not want to jinx her, but Olivia is shooting over 90% from the line this year. At one point, she was shooting 95% with 15 free throws, and that was quite something.
Helper.
Sierra, nice closeout on the outside. Schmelzenbach looking for an opening. Proctor forcing MSJ to give the ball to players they don't want to give the ball to, in positions to score. Trouble in the corner. There's Eaton from the outside, a little impatient. Here comes McKieran.
Watch this.
Smart move. Oh, little back and forth. Rapino with the inside, and ball stays with MSJ. Proctor did a good job of getting back and defending in a short-handed situation on that fast break.
Abby's got to learn when she doesn't have that good shot, she's got to bring the ball back out. That was a crazy shot she took down the other end. Liz.
Yeah, Liv picking up her third foul. This point in the fourth quarter. Rapino out in the corner. Good D that time, but
are you kidding me?
Rapino for three. I'll tell you, without her in this game,
again,
turnover that time by, that was a back court and they didn't catch it.
Rapino.
Schmelzenbach from way deep.
Oh, that's right, out of bounds.
Good rebound by Lexi Bride.
That ball's out of bounds.
Live with the lefty, not quite there. Off the mark, Proctor has to get back. Proctor down by Proctor up by only 2 now. MSJ looking to come back.
That was a big three, no doubt about it.
I'll tell you what, in the scouting report, I don't think Rapino was in the book.
I don't. I wouldn't have heard. I never heard it.
But she's done an excellent job for MSJ. Good defense by Abby that time.
Wild shot. Rapino again with a rebound.
Travel by Bride on. I don't know how that would be a travel, but Lexi was in trouble down there on the floor anyway, so I don't think it mattered that much whether it was a travel or something else.
Rapino has become a weapon for him.
Well, she's definitely.
We need a steal right here, or a turnover.
Livia with the kick prevented the pick and roll play. Proctor's playing an awful lot of defense.
A lot.
But there's also a lot of time coming off the clock at this point. Schmelzenbach for 3. Drains it. And that puts MSJ up by 1 with 2:34 left in the game.
That was bound to happen sooner or later.
Emma Reichert tries to go to the hole.
Again.
Gets blocked. She kind of had herself buried a little bit under the hoop. Geez, I wish Livia would just shoot that shot. There's nobody within 3 feet of her. She can shoot the ball, and
I've seen her make that.
She just does not seem to have the confidence to take it at this point. Gets inside.
Great move. Great move.
Good pass on the inbounds that time by Thornton. Puts Proctor up by 1.
Stay with her.
There goes Jenna Eaton, trapped on the baseline. 1:58 left. Proctor maintaining a 1-point lead. Good defense. Good closeout by Sierra Thornton. Gets by the light screen. High screen and roll. Sierra Thornton, nice job again closing out. Jenna Eaton trying to get by Abby. I don't know about jump ball.
Hey,
but,
I love it.
But it is a change of possession.
Gotta call that.
Foul that time on Elms, who didn't see the screen and just plowed over Emma Reichert. Elms is a block. Boy, she can put a hurt on you, that's for sure.
Yep.
And now Proctor has the ball and the lead with 1:32 left. Isabel giving us a little wink and a wave from the bench. Played an excellent game.
Yes, she has.
Gave Lexi Bride the time to ruminate on her 3 fouls, and she hasn't picked one up since she's been back in the game. At some point, you're probably going to want to get Isabel back in for ball handling and maybe defense on the perimeter.
I would like to see it right here.
But I know what Coach Hughes is doing. He's kind of riding what has kept him in the lead so far. Inbounds from Olivia to Abby. Abby out top.
Now here's where Proctor's got a
high screen.
They got the 1 point lead.
Proctor looking for they're in the flex. Proctor doing a
Who's that on?
I do not know. Foul is on Lexi Bride, her 4th, setting an illegal screen. Big time for a stop. Livia gets the steal and goes all the way to the hoop. Puts Proctor up 3. Now Abby with the steal, and she's going to go in. And another one. That puts Proctor up by 5 points with 52 seconds
Unbelievable.
left. What a turn of affairs right there. First, Olivia Valerio with the steal and goes full court for the left-handed layup. Then Abby McKieran does the same thing on the crossover and goes in for the hoop. What an excellent sequence for Proctor.
Who would have thought, huh?
Well, this game has been quite something, and you know it's not even close to over yet. With 52 seconds left.
There's a lot of time left.
And if you notice, as the half has progressed, we had a 10-8 score in the first quarter, 16-14 after 2. Well, now the teams are starting to loosen up. They're hitting some 3-pointers. They're getting in the fast break. Anything can happen with this amount of time left. Proctor has to also watch themselves in that they have 6 fouls. You don't want to put them to the MSJ to the line and allow the clock to stop while they're scoring points. Lexi Bride out of the game and Isabel Valerio in for the last minute, as we suspected might happen.
Here we go.
Fall away, good by Schmelzenbach.
Don't have to shoot.
Boy, Abby needed to give that ball up right there. She thinks she can dribble through everything, but sometimes you got to just give the ball up. And
I don't think she even thought about the 10 seconds.
No, I don't really know what was going on there. That having been said, Chris Hughes did a good job of calling the timeout.
Somebody did it.
Just before the 10 seconds was up, Proctor now maintaining a 3-point lead with 31.2 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
What a game.
Right now, Proctor has, I would say, a good foul shooting lineup on the floor in the event that MSJ is forced to foul. McKieran, an excellent foul shooter. Olivia Valerio shooting around 90%. Emma Reichert's a decent free throw shooter generally, and Isabel Valerio also.
If I were coaching in the huddle right now, I'd be instructing one thing. We got the ball. We got a 3-point lead. They can't score and if they can't get their hands on the ball. They got to try to get the ball and foul, and that's what we're looking for. We got to make good, crisp passes here, and we're going to inbound the ball first.
Abby goes all the way to the hoop, dishes it, and puts Emma Reichert at the line for
take
two.
Only 3-4 seconds off the clock.
You know, and that, and in fact, taking time off the clock is probably more important at this point. But Emma will be shooting two. And that's what, you know, if you're the MSJ coach and you see that happen,
you got to wonder.
You go, this might just not be our night. Because that ball was off by 8 inches.
It was.
It landed dead on the rim and somehow spun in.
That one barely hit the rim.
But it puts Proctor up by 4. And as far as I know, there's a walk. There are no 4-point plays.
Right now, that's the ball game if Proctor don't lose their head.
Well, there's plenty of time. They're going to put them on the foul line one way or another.
They got to foul.
Isabel's going to be able to get this ball if they get there. Now, that matchup is caused, I think they somehow had Rapino on Isabel, which she does not really have a good chance of. Somebody's got to come back to the hoop. Got to give it up. Boy, you know, a pass there would have taken another 5 seconds off the clock, but it will put Abby at the line for 2. One and one. I'm sorry. Now, not a huge amount of pressure here because they are up by 4. Proctor should also be mindful of the rebound. They got Isabel back just in case somebody tries to leak out. Abby hits the first. That right there might do it.
That does it.
13 seconds and 5 points. Boy, I don't know. I watched this boys state championship game in Division 4 last year.
Yeah, same thing.
And I saw a 6 point scored in about 8 seconds. Karen hits the second.
No fouls.
Eaton from way deep. Banks in a 3.
Unbelievable.
Hey, you know, I always tell my son who loves to just try to drop everything in like a teardrop. If you hit the glass, anything's possible. You can miss by 3 feet as long as you hit the box. And Eaton did that time, dropping in a 3 with 5.5 seconds left. All Proctor really needs to do, to be honest, is to get the ball in the front court.
In.
And in the event that they're tied up in the backcourt with some good defense by MSJ, whoever's taking the ball in, if they could throw the ball into the front court, give themselves a chance to get it, that will force, just the time of the ball being touched in the backcourt and trying to get it up. There may not be enough time.
Yeah.
That having been said, I don't know how many timeouts Proctor has left, if any.
We got to get the ball into the first person that's open, number 1.
Normally I am not. Normally we're sitting down by the official score, and we can ask those questions. But
we
I
don't want a 5-second call right here. They
Now,
put the big girl on.
Now, she has the ability to run the baseline if
Yes,
she wants
she
to,
does.
and I hope she realizes that.
Good call, Chris.
Well, they definitely got it in, though.
Yep.
Sierra does seem to freeze a little bit taking
Yeah,
the ball,
she
and there
gotta
have been some turnovers, and
Yep.
but with the crew on the floor, I think it's probably the best choice. I mean, you'd probably think over the past years, Olivia's been the one taking the ball in, but she's a big target and she can catch the ball and she can dribble the ball, so you don't want to use her in that way. Everybody else, it's probably the best setup that they have. Proctor ran that one stack at the foul line, almost as though it were a half-court play. This time, this is what I was kind of suggesting the last time. Force somebody.
I hope she realizes you can run the baseline.
You can.
Good.
There you go, and there's another foul.
Now wait a minute. Oh, it's 5.3, right?
Yep. 0.7 of a second went off the clock. Puts Abby McKieran on the line for 1-1 again. Should be telling Sierra Thornton and Isabel Valerio to try to make sure they pick up at the half-court line. Now that puts Proctor up 4.
Yeah, that's
4-point.
2-possession game now.
Yeah, with 4.6 seconds, and I don't know about any 4-point plays. It's almost just as well that.
Look at that.
And that's going to be the ball game right there. Oh, Emma Reichert with
great job.
It's only her third rebound, but it came at a great time in the game with 1.3 seconds. That pretty much put MSJ out of their misery at this point, or into it, as the case may be. And Emma Reichert at the free throw line for the 1-1. Off the mark. But that's it. And Proctor comes into the Madonna Gymnasium and Lenny Burke Court and takes one away from number 1 ranked, the Mount St. Joseph Mounties. Proctor now having beat the number 2 ranked team and the number 1 ranked team back to back within a 3-day span. And Proctor looks like they are primed to make another run at Barry.
They are certainly looking that way. It was a really team effort by the Phantoms. I saw things from girls tonight that I haven't seen all year, and very encouraging.
When we get an opportunity, we'll get the officials, get the scorebook from the score. I do have some stats that I can run down.
Go ahead.
Abby McKieran to go. Well, I can do her points here. I think Abby, if I'm counting right, Abby had 20 points. And Emma Reichert had 2, 4, 6, 7. Sierra Thornton had 4. Isabel Valerio hit a big 3 in the second half. Olivia Valerio had 8 points. To go along with, and just of other note,
pretty good.
Abby McKieran had 8 rebounds from the point guard position to go with her 20 points. Olivia Valerio had 10 rebounds and 2 blocks. Sierra Thornton did a good job as well on the boards, collecting 3 rebounds. Not an easy thing at all to do when you have to have a defensive responsibility of guarding Monica Schmelzenbach.
No, that's a very difficult job, and as I say, I can't say enough good things about the Phantoms tonight. Each man did his job and did her job, and that's a big win.
The other thing that the Phantoms can't, in fact, get too comfortable with this because in just a couple of days they get them again at their own place.
I know.
and official scorer has come over. I gave you the Proctor score for MSJ. Jenna Eaton was held to 4 points.
That's a big one.
Shannon Elms had 5. Monica Schmelzenbach had 15. Most of those coming in the fourth quarter, or definitely in the second half. You have it was about even. Never mind. She had 15 points, and Emily Rapino had 11 points. And
But
boy,
a lot of rebounds.
But for those 11 points, this would not have been a close game.
No,
and I don't think that anybody was expecting that.
Absolutely not.
Out of Rapino. She had an excellent game, great off the boards. Hitting key and all, and her shots seemed to be at the buzzer, at the half, at the quarter, but not quite enough for MSJ. So for Wade, Hall of Fame coach Wade Mitchell, we'll say goodbye and we'll see you next time.
We'll be there.